Hello fellow people, I'm nice to meet you all, and today I would like to talk about beginning art because this is my first voiceover video and I would like to talk with you about that. But before that, I just want to add a quick disclaimer that I'm nowhere near professional and this may not apply to you, but this is what helped me begin with art, or at least made me begin improving and start improving with art. And second of all, this is my first voiceover, as I told you earlier, so it may be shitty. And I'm also recording from my phone because I don't have a microphone. That kind of sucks, but who cares? I mean, I will try to fix it, but yeah, I'm good. I guess we have to roll with this for the first time. So first thing I want to tell you is drawing is a skill and not a talent. And this is really important because so many people are driven away from improving themselves in art and even starting to be an artist or do art because, oh, but I don't have a talent required to do so and I would rather do something else. Well, guess what? You are wrong. I mean, I know so many amazing artists who started off as not talented and they learn eventually to kind of draw because it's a skill, as I said earlier. And even myself, when for example, I look at my older pictures, I see how many flaws they have. I drew exactly as you do now when I was beginning art, and everybody else did. The only reason why I'm here where I'm now, and even now I'm not really good because I have so many things to improve on, but I'm here where I am now because I worked hard. I mean, I drew for a really long time, I think, and that's why I have that talent, that magical talent. So that's why I have that magical talent. So don't say you can't do it because you can. No, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Talent has some factors, but usually they are really minimal, and it just can influence the speed of improvement and not that much. You can be as talented as you are, as much as you like, but you know, if you're not working hard, you are not going to get anywhere. But if you're not talented and if you work hard, you're going to improve. And that will come to the second point of this thing. That you should be patient and you should be ready to work hard, and that these two, elements come from one thing, and that is passion. Many artists say that passion is a really important thing in art because it makes you happy to work hard, and that's true. As I said earlier, that's probably the most important thing in art, and that's what's responsible for making you improve. That's what is responsible for making you better an artist. But no matter how hard you work, I mean, I guess if you work harder, it would, you would improve better and faster. But also, you're not going to improve after like 2 days. Like, that doesn't happen. It would take months, for some even years, to improve, and that's why it's so important for you to be passionate. If art is something that doesn't make you happy, that it won't really be nice to you, think for you, and maybe you shouldn't do it. But I mean, I'm not saying that art should always make you happy. Sometimes it's going to make you frustrated, sometimes going to make you jealous, it's sometimes going to make you maybe sad, but I think the majority of time it should make you happy, and I think that even from that jealousy or envy, it should be based on the feeling that you should be improved, you should be more, you should be better artist, and that should be only the motivation to work even harder. And but unfortunately, sometimes that thing kind of goes too far. Sometimes that's why you quit. You compare yourself to others too often, and it becomes unhealthy. Which brings me to my third point, which is do not compare yourself to others. Please, for the love of God, do not do that. I mean, sometimes yes, it's healthy, but I'm not talking about that healthy comparison. I may talk about healthy comparison in another video, but I'm now going to talk about shit you shouldn't do. And that is where frustration comes from, that is where envy comes from, that is where that sadness comes from. You shouldn't do that to yourself. The reason why I'm saying that, because some artists just are artists more than you are. Maybe they're like professional, and even if they are your age, maybe they're artists for a longer time. Maybe they were professional, and even if they are your age, maybe they're artists for a longer time. Maybe they work harder. Maybe they're in art school. Who knows? For I'm a person who goes to grammar school, and when I'm in school, I sometimes don't draw for weeks because I have to deal with my exams, and I don't want to kind of. Maybe they're in art school and maybe they draw 24/7, or unfortunately, yes, maybe they're even more talented than you. But guess what? It doesn't matter, because you know you are not them, and you're never going to be them. And if everybody uses the same logic as you did, nobody would be an artist except the best person in the world. All the way it is. Maybe they're preparing for art school or art career. So yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. But you shouldn't also make it that you are the perfect human being, that you are never wrong. And this is the fourth point. Learn how to take constructive criticism. This is really important, because most of artists at the beginning are trying to get that confidence. And usually they're posting their shit on social media, which you should totally post your art on social media, but that there is a side effect that people are going to criticize your art, like, oh my god, this hand looks weird. You should probably make a head larger. You should do this, you should do that. And I know in the beginning it isn't really pleasant. Wasn't pleasant for me. But the reason why you should toughen up and say thank you for pointing it out is because you can't always see your mistakes. Maybe you think that their comment is unreasonable, but please try to kind of take them into consideration, because artists can't always see their mistakes. I couldn't. When I was 13, I was making so much mistakes regarding anatomy, and when I was 13, I was making so much mistakes regarding anatomy, and I was so proud of those drawings. I just could imagine how would I react when somebody would tell me, Tasha, this drawing sucks. Anatomy is all over the place. What the fuck? I would probably be mad, or I don't know what. But 3 years later, when I look at those drawings, I say, wow, these drawings really suck. And I improved a lot. And criticism would make you realize that much earlier. So that is why you should accept it. But be careful. not all criticism is legitimate. For example, I should probably ignore criticism of an old artwork. Like when I was, if they just say this drawing sucks, this isn't a criticism, and you should probably tell them, okay, why? And if they can't respond to you, they're not really qualified to be a critic, and you should probably tell them that. If they can if they can tell you the truth, so you can tell them the truth, if you know what I mean. So yeah, don't be afraid to tell them that they are not reasonable. But if they tell you why, then say, okay, just tell them, just tell me that immediately, like there is no need to be rude or something. So yeah, that was that. Criticism is really important. Now, the next tip is more like something that would make you improve better, and that is challenging. This is probably where maybe when you are in your where maybe when you are you're now into art, and you probably have something that you like to draw. This is the advice I should probably take in. Like, for example, I like to draw people, especially light-skinned women. And challenging yourself would make not only art more fun, but also you would improve much more than now. Yes, maybe I am improving at drawing light-skinned women, but every time I draw a black person, it sucks. Why? Because I don't draw them enough. And you should probably, for example, do studies. Studies are pictures where you realistically draw something. Now, first, I know for some of you that is so boring, and I know, but it will teach you so many things from anatomy to coloring, so please challenge yourself. I know you dislike drawing architecture, or you hate drawing animals, or you hate drawing people, but it will help you. You don't have to challenge yourself all the time, but you should challenge yourself from time to time, because why not? And the last but not the least, you should have fun, because forcing yourself to draw is really the worst thing ever, because why not? And the last but not the least, you should have fun, because forcing yourself to draw is really the worst thing ever. That's why I'm probably never going to be a full-time artist, because sometimes you have to draw shit you don't like. But you should make sure that you're most of the time enjoying what you're doing, because if you enjoy what you're doing, that can cause a passion, that passionate feeling, which can cause you to urge to work more, to urge to make more art, to urge to improve, which is essential for an artist. So yeah, if you're having fun, you're doing it right. I know, even if you're producing artwork that is not that good, even if you're like drawing stuff so much worse than others, you're doing a great job if you enjoyed every second of doing that, and that is the right thing. I mean, sure, as I mentioned earlier, feelings like envy, feelings like frustration are normal. It's normal that you're not happy 100% of the time, but you should be happy most of the time. I don't think that majority of your drawing time should be filled with sadness and grief. If that's the case, don't do it. You shouldn't be sad. It's not okay. Go find something that will make you happy. That's also an advice for I just don't want you to be sad. So yeah, thank you all so much for listening. I know this is all messy and it's probably going to be edited a lot, but I'm probably contained some grammar mistakes, but as I said earlier, it's my first time recording and I am not so confident person myself, so maybe that is why I might suck at this, but hey, this is the first time, maybe it's going to turn out good. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this ramble jamble. Be good people and do good things. Goodbye. Bye. I might suck at this, but hey, this is the first time, maybe it's going to turn out good. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this ramble jamble. Be good people and do good things. Goodbye. Thanks. Goodbye.